Bill Gates, they say there have been speculation that his IQ score is at the genius level above 140. So that's what said about Bill Gates. But when I sit around people, but, but the information that she read made it seem that these geniuses are not introverted. It made
Yeah, I
it
don't
seem that
think
they're
she
more
mentioned it.
social. But no, no, no. When she was reading all of the ideas they gave about how geniuses move in society with having it looks like they're more social. And every smart person, I work with engineers where I work, and every smart intellectual person that I know, they are usually introverted and quiet because they're usually thinking all the time. Now, if you go and talk to them, they may open up, they may be funny, but they don't socialize very often or very easily. But then if we say that, so now it's kind of sounding like intellect is a perspective. There's nothing concrete to say if a person is intellectual or not, because it's now sounding like it's perspective.
I mean, yeah, I think everything is. But
So there's no concrete
but you
evidence to
didn't
say.
say on any of your lists. I did not hear the words introverted or extroverted.
No, no, I'm saying that.
And
I'm
not at
saying the
all.
qualities. I'm saying the qualities that she read off made it sound like they were extroverted, but real geniuses or people who I would think intellectual, they're not doctors and engineers and all these people. They are not social usually. Most are not social. If you just read the last one, it gives them an image of they're just outgoing people. And when we look at throughout history, people who have been considered geniuses were introverts, and most times thought as crazy.
Well, things change. The more we learn, the more, because I everything here that you read, and I did write down that list. It does not scream to me introvert or extrovert. It screams,
I agree.
It screams to me the idiosyncrasies of a person who is highly intelligent. And I think that's one of the things we cheat ourselves out of when we box what we think something looks like. We ignore those that actually have that because they don't fit the mold of what we think it should look like. I have never, and I'm talking about, pocket protector, pin wearing jokers, but I've also had folks who were the CEO of the company who was highly intelligent, all of these things, and could not afford to be introverted because they had a high position where they had to speak to the people, they had to bring the vision, they had to carry through the mission. So I just think that introverted or extroverted really doesn't have anything to do with any of the characteristics of a highly intelligent person.
I think, but if she go back and read at least the last one, it's the scriptures of how that person moves in society. So, of course, in their job position, if they didn't know how to communicate with other people, you can't move up. You won't be moving up in a company. You know what I mean? So, of course, you have to have some speaking skills because you even need that just to be able to make your point in a large room. So, for instance, our plant manager, he's every plant manager we had, you probably would think that they don't like you because they don't really speak. They are not very talkative. If they can be in the room of someone giving a topic about something, a speech or whatever, and they're quiet, motionless, no expressions on their face. The only time that you'll get their attention, you have to call them to come up, and then they're very, and this is you can't group everybody, but this is similarities that I've seen in all of our plant managers. So that so I do see, but I was just saying all that to say the qualities that they said, even with having a sense of humor. When I think about somebody having a sense of humor, it's someone that's always kind of, not a class clown, but they're open to that conversation to give you their sense of humor, that give you that joke, or make you feel comfortable and relaxed in that space of their humor. But for me, everything you read seemed like made it look like they're social. That's what I'm saying. Everything you read, and you even brought up people being social as being part of their intellect. And for me, I don't think being social has anything to do with it.
So I pulled up something because this is fun to do. It's okay. So I asked who would be deemed the smartest between an extrovert or an introvert. So only one article came up, but the other ones were like personality IQ tests. And it's so funny, you guys. I have an iPad in here, I have a MacBook, I have a desktop, and I have a Surface Pro in my phone. When I tell you this, I tried it several times. If I type in something, each one will pull up something different. Now, as you keep searching, you'll find some of the same articles and stuff like that when you're searching. Even when I'm shopping, they all pull up something different during that first, when when it populates the first time. It's interesting how they do that. And I think it's based on, the item. I think they have come up with who owns the item, what I'm saying, the area and all this stuff, but they all come up with all this different information on the algorithm. So in this particular article, it says Witty Companion. This is the name of the website. It said, are introverts smarter than extroverts? What science says. So here it says, introverts are not necessarily smarter than extroverts. While some studies link introversion and high intelligence, each person is unique and broad generalizations are really possible and accurate. That's just a summary. And then it goes into some details about introverts. It says introverts have been the subject of many misconceptions over time. One such misconception is that introverts are socially awkward or shy, and this assumption has led to a lot of people thinking they're not very smart. Likewise, an entirely different viewpoint is becoming increasingly popular, that introverts often have high IQ and are more intelligent than their outgoing counterparts. So are introverts smarter than extroverts? So then it goes into some other stuff. So based on this, there's other information, but they seem to think that extroverts fare highly based on this than an introvert.
Yeah, and so I did the same search, and I came up with, it says on average, introverts and extroverts are the same in terms of intelligence. But statistics show that around 70% of gifted people are introverts. People are considered gifted when they exhibit above average intelligence or a superior talent for something, such as music, math, etc. And then this other one says that there's a common misconception that introverts are somehow less intelligent than their extrovert counterparts. And then it says, but let me tell you this, that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, many highly intelligent people are actually introverts.
Wow.
And that was July 15th, 2024 that I read you in the previous one.
That's a recent one. I didn't see when this was.
The previous one was February of 2023.
Okay.
When we look at Leonardo da Vinci, and I've read a lot about him, it's been a long time, but he didn't really deal with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? He was truly an introvert. So when I go back and think of throughout history and the people that we read about coming up in school or whatever, which that doesn't matter, because and I'm not saying all, it's never all, there's always exceptions to everything we say. But when we go through history and look at these people that we all thought about, they said, I believe that Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King had a very high IQ too. He did all of this, but he would be considered an introvert. He's actually an introvert, though he was able to move, push, preach, teach, do everything that he did. I really think that I've read somewhere that he was an introvert. So no, it's not all, but I'm just saying it just seemed like from just what I've heard on this, from you saying they have a personality, like they just had this great personality. That's something I don't see in a lot of people who I think are highly intelligent or who we've studied have been highly intelligent.
Yeah, I don't necessarily understand how they gauge introversion and extroversion. Personally, I prefer to be by myself, but I am very social. But my comfort zone is being in my own space, entertaining my own self, doing my own thing. Like COVID was a blessing for me, to be honest. And I'm funny as hell.
I think that would make you an introvert. I think that when you choose what you'd rather do, if you'd rather be with other people or you'd rather be with alone. So I think that's what the gauge is. If you'd rather be alone, you'd be considered an introvert.
Yeah.
Though you may like being with other people and talk and joke, but your natural state is introverted versus somebody who's social who don't like. I'm like you. I don't mind being alone. I used to go to the club by myself. I could take myself out to dinner at my favorite restaurant. I have no problem being by myself. I don't need a whole slew of friends. I don't need any of that. I don't mind. I love being by myself. So I know that I'm introverted, though I love people and I want to be around people. Social anxiety has caused me not be able to do that,
Yeah, I mean, if you ask anyone who knew me, they would not say that I was introverted. Although that is as you said, my natural state and preference. I'd rather sit in the corner and watch the pocketbooks while y'all go out there and dance your ass off. That's what I do, and I'm having a good time doing it.
So I think we could sum it up that, yeah, education is awesome to have. We don't want to not promote getting an education, but we can say that it's more to being intelligent than just being smart in one area. I mean, because you're not, some people are, but what are the chances? Let me ask you this. What are the chances that you're smart in everything? Math, science, geology, you know what I'm saying? Everything. You just know everything about everything. What are the chances?
Well, nobody knows everything about everything but God. But I happen to be intelligent in all of those things, but not because I was born that way. I practice that way. You know what I mean? I was a business major, so I had to learn to understand marketing and statistics and numbers, and then I had to learn how to speak to the customer. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to write. So in all of those things, I have a level of intelligence in, but I don't know everything of anything. I know a lot about a little.
Yeah, I feel like you, and I'm glad you said it before I did. I think that I'm pretty. I think I'm pretty smart. I think that I'm like that because I can grasp things. Even as a child, I used to ask a lot of questions. So many questions that when I sat on my daddy's lap, I can remember, he just nodded his head yes. Because I'm asking so many, I want to know a question about everything. I mean, I had a question about everything around me. I was the student in class that was never scared to ask the question, how am I going to learn this if I have a fear of asking questions? Even when I was in my shy state, I still would ask a question. So I think that's what made me
Thank you for joining the team.
Not always just studying, because I never was a person that really did a lot of studying, unless it was something that, that I had an epiphany about, then I'll go to research it to get a better understanding of it. But I don't know. I don't know. Some people can be, intelligent, like you said, in some things, and I just don't know how we can really gauge it unless they apply it to their life. I don't think you can be very smart if you know the key to cracking the code for the lottery and you don't go win the lottery. How smart can you be? You know what I mean? That's how I see it. If you can't apply it, it's a waste.
Can you all build furniture? Like if somebody said, hey, I need you to build me a piece of furniture, can you build it? Without looking, if I want you to build a table or a bed or a chair without seeing it, you don't have anything. You just got nails, you got the tools, but you don't have no manual.
Yes, I do it with. I look at the box. I never use the manual. I throw that away. I don't have time for all that reading, and I can't see.
I'm talking about I said no manual. You don't even have a picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it may not be in Ethan Allen's when I'm done.
But it'll hold that weight, right?
Exactly.
some
I know the
screws and some
principles exactly. It need 4 legs. It need a flat top, and I need to screw these nails, these legs on tightly. Yeah, I can do that. I can even sand this shit and stain it.
Right?
Exactly.
It'll be rugged, but it'll be durable.
But hold on, that could be a gift too, though. You could be like.
Look it up, Dazzy. Look up Ethan Allen.
Yeah, so that could be a gift that you have naturally. You might can do that, but can't cook nothing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I raised up. My grandmother had a furniture store, so I came up doing that kind of stuff. They used to pick up stuff off the side of the road, and we used to redo it and resell it. So I'm like this. Whatever you want to know, whatever you want to do, you continue to do and you achieve it. I tell my children that all the time. If you want to be great at something, continue to do it and you're going to perfect it eventually.
Like Miami says she can't cook, and I'm going to be honest. That's something I don't get. Like, why can't you cook? But guess what? People can't cook. And I've tasted some of my family members' food, and I'm like, I don't please. When they say they cook, and I'm like, no, sir, let's go out, let's do something. No, thank you. But I can't, like, for instance, if you're around women and, you know, all types of people that cook, how do you not know how to cook? But there are people who don't know how to cook.
Because they haven't tried. Nobody knows how to cook. When I first got with my first man and my first family, I could cook a little bit. I could cook a few things. But the more I did it, the more I called my mom and asked, how do you do this, mama? I got better at it. So once again, you continue to do something, you perfect it. I'm trying to cook rice for 20 people because I'm trying to feed at least 20 homeless right now. I can't even cook this rice on the stove because I've cooked rice in the microwave so long. I'm trying to make sure I don't burn this rice and it's already sticking to the pot. You know, I'm freaking out. I don't want to mess the rice up. And rice
and grits were one that was a challenge for me. I could cook so much, but the rice and the grits was the last thing I need to learn how to cook, y'all. I promise.
I mastered those, and I'm gonna tell you what else was gravy. Like, my mother taught me how to make gravy over the phone. Because I used to watch my mother. She would take her pot to the stove. You know, she had her roux going and her onions, and she would go to the stove and make hers. Man, I tried that, and I had, like, mashed potatoes. I was like, what the hell? But gravy ain't no joke, and neither is grits and rice. But I was married to a Puerto Rican, right? So I know how to make rice. Like, you can eat it just rice. You don't need nothing on it. I know how to make some white rice, like, out of this world.
Wow. See, I can't, man. This rice, part of it look cooked, part of it sticky, part of it stuck to the pot. I'm like, oh my God.
Because the secret, and a lot of black folks don't do this, because I never ate rice growing up because I hated it. But the secret to making rice is the oil. You have to add oil in your rice because that allows it to steam, and it will not stick. And also, so you use less water. And the way you do it is you literally fill your pot up with the rice, and then you add the water, and you take your 2 fingers from the edge of the pot to the center. And if the rice comes up in the center, then you've got the perfect amount of water. If it doesn't come up, you got too much water. And if it does come up before you get to the center, you don't have enough water. And that was and I'm telling, and add some oil. You know, I like coconut oil. I like the fragrance of it. I like the taste of it. So I use coconut oil, but you can use whatever oil you need. And then voila. And then y'all do a video about it when you make the rice.
What? My half brother, he not really my half brother. Somebody my mama took him, but they know how to boil their rice. They boil all their rice and it comes out perfect, every grain to itself. I can't even do that.
Yeah.
I can't make rice dressing. Now, my cornbread dressing, I make some killer cornbread dressing, but rice dressing, shrimp fried rice, I cannot make a rice dish to save my life.
Oh, girl, that's my specialty, honey. I can make me a rice dish in 30 minutes, baby.
Wow.
With all types. As a matter of fact, that's going to be tonight, so look out. That's tonight. I pulled out some pork and some chicken. So I'm not, but I got eggplant, I got squash, onion, and I'm gonna make me a rice dish.
Eggplant dressing. Oh, my mama makes some good eggplant rice dressing. But you know what? I can't even make. Now I'm married to this man. I can't even make jollof rice to save my life. And I love jollof rice.
Girl,
And
I love me some
make
jollof
it.
rice.
I can't make it. I can't.
It's girl, because they be burning the pot up. You just got to
Yeah.
be patient, drop queen, and make that jollof rice, because you know they put all that tomato and everything, and they got to keep
Exactly.
turning
Mine gonna
it
be
in the.
sticky. I ain't wasting my time. How this?
Yes. Look, listen, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna make a rice dish today.
Oh,
I'm
Miss
gonna make a
Miami,
rice.
you can't make potato salad either. Oh man, what you coming to? What you bringing to the cookout, sis?
I'm telling you, potato salad is. Oh, I love potato salad. And I want to tell y'all the key to good grits is milk. Put some milk. You can't taste the milk or anything, but it makes it so creamy. Perfect.
My daughter told me to put
simple grits.
what's that cream? The cream in it. What's the heavy cream?
Half and half. Oh, heavy
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah.
I don't use that, but I make creamy grits, and I can make comeback grits. You know, my girlfriend I was like, yeah, I can make comeback grits. You know, after they sat on the stove from the morning, and then
Oh, you can make it back soft.
I
That's
can bring
a challenge.
I can bring them back, sis.
Now we got to talk about that. Okay, so how do you bring back? Because I promise you, I don't be patient enough. I throw some little milk or water in there, and I get it, enough so it's creamy. But I swear it's a lump in there too.
No. What you gotta do is you gotta heat the pot up with the grits in it, and you put on boiled water in a tea kettle.
Okay.
And when you add the water, it should almost do like a frying sensation, right? Because you got hot water
Right, it's
and
so hot,
stuff
yeah.
is hot, right? And then you just take a whisk and you just whisk that shit up, and I'm telling you, it's as creamy as the first time.
Okay, I gotta try that now.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I'm a fatty, so if one thing I do know how to do, I can cook.
Watch out, big back. Watch out, big back. Welcome in, Desi.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
How
Hey,
you
Desi.
doing, rice lover?
I'm doing good. My phone died while we was going live earlier.
Okay. So what's your favorite rice dish? We talking about rice right now. So you say you love rice. So what you make? Rice and
Yeah.
eggs.
I
Are
don't
you a
even
rice
know.
and eggs girl?
I don't know. No, I don't eat that. I don't know nothing about no rice and eggs.
You
I
don't
really
eat
don't.
egg and rice?
What?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you must be younger than us.
Yeah, we eat some eggs and rice
we were
now.
poor. We were poorer than you.
Y'all south of the Mason-Dixon line, because I don't eat no rice and eggs other than in Chinese shrimp fried rice.
Ooh, rice and eggs and the bread girl with some country ham, some sausage and all the girl rice and eggs. I learned we was eating rice and eggs before. I didn't start eating grits as a kid until like I started like in my teenage years. I came up on rice and eggs for breakfast.
Oh no, I'm a northerner. We did grits.
Okay. Yeah.
You look at
But
fancy
guess who else eat
rice.
rice and eggs for breakfast? That's their life. Japanese.
Oh, really?
That's what they eat. They eat and see people when I was younger and they would ask me, what you have for breakfast? I say rice and eggs. A lot of people like rice and eggs, ew. And they made me feel all strange, like, oh, y'all don't eat rice and eggs. But when I went over to Japan, they eat that's a staple, rice and eggs.
Wow.
And salmon. And guess what? We grew up off of rice and eggs and salmon cakes. That's what my dad used to make. Rice, eggs, and salmon cakes for breakfast. In Japan, they eat rice, eggs, and salmon, but they make their egg more like a poach egg with their rice. It's more like a poach.
I like salmon cakes and grits and eggs, and I do my egg over medium because I like the yolk to combine all them flavors.
Yeah.
I like the yolk too, but you really fancy when you put some ground meat in it, egg and rice. You really living it up. You ever
Oh,
had
you talking about some
ground
dirty
meat?
rice?
No, ground meat, egg and rice. You add the ground meat to your egg and rice.
Oh, I ain't had that
Oh
now.
man, I put onions and now I know how to cook some egg and rice. I put onions and everything cut up in my egg and rice and cook me some ground meat and throw that in there. That's good.
That
You
sound
know,
like dirty rice with an egg.
Oh, I know. well, maybe I do it. That sounds like dirty. Where you have too much egg in it to, to really be.
But Dirty Rice use sausages, don't it? Like,
Yeah, it's like a sausage and
yeah.
rice.
But I'm gonna try that. I'm sure that my father he can stomach that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna whip that up for him.
Okay.
He gonna be like, "What the hell show you been watching?" I'll be like, "That tickety tot stuff."
Yeah. Welcome in, Dazzy. Don't sit on mute. What you got going on, girl?
Nothing about to go couponing at Dollar General and see what I can get left because today's 5 off 25 and take my son driving, honey. I'm just trying to brace myself.
Ooh, how old is your son?
He's 14.
Oh, that's gonna be fun for him. That's gonna be fun for him. I did that with my kids, so
Y'all just gotta pray for
What y'all did? How do y'all tell them, like, not that one, baby, without saying, oh, not that one, making them measure
well, you
real
gotta
hard?
give him instruction before. I mean, he's been watching you. I don't know. He's been watching you, but I would start off with just giving him some instructions and telling him, park, reverse, neutral. Give him all the, signs, left and right signals. Tell him all about all everything on the dashboard. Give him a tutorial of what's in front of him. First,
Start him out in the parking lot. Yeah, like start him out in the parking
that's what I'm
lot.
gonna say. That's what we did. Parking lot, school parking lots, and this Saturday and Sunday the school's empty. So I take him to a high school parking lot, like I did my children.
And then that way you'll know how to raise your voice when necessary and when to relax and be like, remember what I told you. You got to slow down. You got to, you know what I mean? But first go in the parking lot before you go out in them damn streets.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the shopping center because they shopping, but the high schools they should have an empty parking lot.
Okay, this our second time. I'm going to take you ladies' advice. I appreciate you for having me up, and I'll be back, honey.
All right, Dazzy, enjoy your day.
Stay live.
I will. Y'all too.
Y'all gotta pray for my rice now. I'm trying to do a good deed. This sucker, I'm trying to do a good deed.
See y'all, guess what? I'm sleepy now. Now I'm not sleepy. I know if I get off, I log off, I'll probably be like surfing the streets. But see, I done had enough now. I'm like, okay, so I was on for a couple of hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm satisfied.
If you have more people on and make a good this, you'll be confident. You'll be more confident. You'll wake up. You wake up, so somebody sending you $5, 20 people sending you $5 cash like you. You're like,
I know that'll wake me up. Be like, Miss Miami said, someone said, it's someone said. You'll say, someone said. Someone said.
Yes, true. That's why I vibe with Queen, because we don't do that arguing stuff. I'm too old for it.
I'm too old.
It's a waste of energy.
That's why I be smiling and laughing sometimes. They get that probably mess with people because I'm not an angry person though. Like naturally, I'm just not. I'm not angry. So even when you angry, I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, calm down.
Yeah, you make me laugh.
Look, calm down before you have an aneurysm.
Yeah, it gives me anxiety, and I don't even know that I suffer from anxiety. But when I'm scrolling these streets, and that's what they doing, and everybody hollering, and I'm like, yo, where's the peace? I want to go where there's peace. Where there's peace, there's conversation, there's a little bit of silliness. There's some intellectual discourse, all of that. Like I want a hodgepodge of an experience in a life. And arguing ain't one of the ones that I want.
Now, a good debate can get a little heated. I could take a good debate. We going back and forth, but let me get mine in. I'll let you get yours in, and let us decide. Hey, what happened? What's up? What's the conclusion of this discussion? But the whole, the whole screaming and calling names for a whole hour, you can have that because that
doesn't bother me.
That ain't gonna get me nowhere.
It doesn't bother me because I was the oldest child. I was the oldest grandchild on both sides of my family. That means I'm the oldest niece, I'm the oldest cousin. So, and I've always had a protective nature. So I've always had to fight. I fought for my mama, I fought for my brothers and sisters, I fought for my friends. So that fight is in me. Being a black woman with full lips, I got bullied about my lips. That's why what they say. But when I came into the confidence that these lips sexy, it doesn't bother me. When you tell me, oh, you got big old sucrose, that doesn't bother me. But if you try to insult me, I'm going to return the favor. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been me. I like to tell this story. I know they hate when I'm telling stories, but I like telling stories. But that's my extroverted side. But so my son-in-law is about 6'2". He probably was 300 pounds. So he's a big guy, 6'2", 6'3". Big guy. We went out to this club. I think we drove to outside of, I think we were in Roundtree or something like that. And so we went to a club, and a little short guy, I don't remember how short it was. He probably was 6'1". My son-in-law is 6'3". Grabbed my son-in-law's hand to tell him, you can't go outside with that drink. I went up to that man and slapped his hand off my son-in-law. I said, you don't have to touch him. I'm very protective. My son-in-law, he just smiled. He's a pastor, so that was before he was a pastor, but he just has a real calm, gentle, outgoing personality. But me, I'm watching everybody. I'm watching to see what's going to pop off. I'm always ready. So for me, and I'm only 5'6". I went up to this 6'1" man to take up for this 6'3" son-in-law of mine, and I hit that man's hand. I took his hand and I threw it. I said, you don't have to touch him like that. And my son-in-law tapped me. He said, Mama, it's okay. But I was ready to go to war.
I got a niece. She crazy. I got a niece. She's crazy. So I went out with her one time. She called me one day. This was years ago. She said, Auntie, what you doing? I said, I'm about to go out to the such and such spot. She said, okay, I'm going to meet you up there. I was like, okay. So we up there, and I'm married to my first husband at the time. And so we up there, we hanging out. So this guy was talking to me and everything. And he just, he wasn't disrespectful or anything. So I was like, no, I'm not interested. And so he was more like, well, he didn't care about nothing I was saying. He was like, I don't, still this and that. And she was like, did she say?
Why we gotta be crazy though?
I was like, oh my God, like, calm down, girl. She was about to go off on him. I was like, look at my niece. I was like, but I was saying it was not that deep. It was not that deep, girl. Calm down. She's like, nah, because I hate it when, damn, she said damn. I was like, okay. I was like, your auntie definitely know how to handle herself. I promise you. She was going off, y'all. I was like, girl, and I told her mother, I was like, she is crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, Lord, I can't take you nowhere.
Yeah, you got to decide. You want to be the thermostat, or you want to be the thermometer. I want to be the thermostat. And I told you, this wise woman once told me, you can't swat at every mosquito, and that changed my life. A simple statement like that, I do not wish to engage, and that's so much more powerful than making me be ugly, because we all know how to be ugly.
Right.
If you a black woman in America, you know how to cuss a mofo out. If you ain't mastered nothing else, you know that part.
Oh no.
But everybody ain't privileged to see that.
Miss Queen want to tell us we're crazy. I don't know. I just always had to protect. I get, where it may come. It may be a childhood trauma, because I had a mother that was very passive. She wasn't the fighter. So when there needed to be a fight, I was fighting.
Gotcha.
Even for her. I can remember just recently, it has been maybe a year, somebody came to her house. I think it was around COVID. It was right after COVID maybe, and my mother is disabled. And her husband, they're older, and so she didn't want the lady at her house coughing and all that. So she's telling the lady to leave, but the lady's still standing there, and my blood is boiling. I'm ready to get up and snatch that woman and drag her out that house. Because if my mama asks you one time to leave her house, respect her and leave. Don't keep trying to talk and influence her and say, oh, girl, I don't have nothing. She don't want to hear that. So I looked at the woman. I said, "Didn't she tell you to leave?" I mean, I was triggered. So I think because my mother was passive, that I had to be more aggressive. I think.
Mm-hmm. And that can happen too if you're around people who are always nice, never really saying anything. They, and you're like, you get frustrated. You like, well, you know what? They're not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I understand that. Welcome in, True 66. Welcome up.
Hey, Queen Jules.
How you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Drop Queen.
Hello.
Hi, Doctor.
Can you hear me? Hey.
Hey, True.
What'd you say, Queen? Drop Queen.
Oh, I was saying hello. I didn't see my box light up when I was saying hello.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
You were
I'm
saying
enjoying-
that when you notice on the app that Drop Queen gives her opinion like everybody else, True?
That's facts. It's factual. I mean, you know what? I think a lot of people doesn't like the fact that Drop Queen, how she expresses herself and how she always, have an opinion about something. But it's when she left from over there at the other spot, you got some of the same people, and I just don't want to name people, but I'm quite sure you guys know. And they, even when Drop was there, they all do the same thing. So why is it a problem when she do it? They don't want to hear her, but they all do the same thing. And I'm not lying. These people are weird to me. I just, like I tell Drop, I love Drop. I just don't like the fact that some of these people are not worth arguing with. And that's just my opinion. I'm not getting on this cursing and fighting with these folks that I don't even know, ain't gonna never even see in my life.
Well, I have to be honest. I met a different Drop Queen today because all the interactions that I had seen her with, it was always vitriolic, and I was like, oh my God, these people. And it wasn't her by herself. It was just always somebody arguing with her, and I was like, oh my God, like, is this? And I just had a hard time with it.
Yes.
I was, but today I actually was able to have a conversation, and you were able to engage in a way that allowed you to be who you are and not have to defend who you are. So I definitely have a different perspective.
I think that, let me say this, True, real quick.
Queen.
I think that, and I've noticed this on this, I noticed this on this app. I think when people can't match, or let's say if they can't debate with you in an intellectual way, that's when the insults come. Drop is definitely opinionated. I'm very opinionated, right? But it's like, you know how if you disagree with me and I disagree with you, and I say, okay, this is my stance on it, and you say this is your stance, and I go, well, this is my stance, and then you can't say anything back for many reasons. Maybe you don't know more information about it, you're frustrated, you can't think fast because she thinks fast. You know what I'm saying? Her experience is different. And that's when the insults come. That's when, oh, you centering yourself. Oh, you want to take over. You this, you ugly. So usually all of those insults come from your lack of ability to be able to kind of have a conversation. Because she's having a conversation. She's not hurling out insults from what I saw in the beginning. Now she's fighting. She's fighting every day. But in the beginning, especially from the morning show, yes, she was very opinionated. She had a lot to offer, but at the same time, if you can't go back and forth with her and debate with her, then it's a problem. So that's what I see.
Well, you know what? I was a Drop Queen, and I was the type of person that I would give you the rah-rah back, or I was just that person, but I choose not to do that anymore. But what I'm gonna say, I saw through Drop Queen. That's why Drop Queen became my favorite person, because I saw something else through her. You know what I mean? Because I knew I had ways. Well, she has ways like me, because I'm way older than her.
Well, I tell you what, you just gonna have to win. If you want to debate with Drop Queen, you're gonna have to win. You just gonna have to keep at it. Y'all gonna have to keep going back and forth.
You can debate with Drop Queen without it being an argument, and that's what they don't realize. But it's like I said, it's also how you you say certain things to people, because you got certain words that trigger people. And I mean, I'm quite sure it's on everybody's part, because everybody do it. But I'm just saying, I feel as though you don't have to. You can discuss stuff without having to do all that arguing and all that cursing. And I'm not just saying it's Drop Queen, because it's a lot of them that does that. I mean, if you don't agree with certain people, and then certain people jump on bandwagons because that's their favorite quote unquote person. I'm not gonna do that. If I agree with something you said, I'm gonna agree with it. If I agree with something, Queen Jules, that you say, I'm gonna agree with it. And and if I don't, I don't. It doesn't have to be an argument as far as I'm concerned. I was on a panel recently, which I was actually called up on the panel because I really don't go on panels for that reason. Because people want to argue, curse you out. The first time I came on Diamond's panel, I was called a bitch for no reason. I mean, literally no reason. Because I only came on here asking Diamond a question about the gala. And another individual just called me a bitch. And I mean, it really kind of threw me off. And I was like, you was another B. And then I had to catch myself like, because I knew that was like, but it really caught me off guard. And I'm like, and then I wanted to apologize to her because I thought maybe did I hear wrong? You know what I'm saying? So, I literally was going to apologize to this woman. Then I found out like, she literally did call me a bitch, So I'm like, you know what? I said, I'm not going up on no panels no more because these folks be acting like purity fools over nothing. And then, you have everybody got an opinion. So you get up there, you may ask a question or you might have an opinion. They quick, especially if you're a new person, they quick to try to shut you up. They're going to shut you up and say some foul stuff to you on the panel. They're going to drop you or whatever. And like a lot of it don't be necessary. Some of it isn't fun. I get it. It's entertainment. But some of it be unnecessary. You don't even have to say anything before they be ready to drop you or cuss you out or anything. I mean, they just look at your picture and be like, oh, one girl said in the comments, she's like, I don't like her. And I hadn't said anything. I thought it was funny. I just shook my head. But I mean, and then I recently got called on Trina panel because I was making comments in the comment. I was what y'all call her, the comment cousin or whatever. And so Trina gets up there all boastfully like, oh, True 66, come up to the panel. So I wasn't going to go at first, right? Because I said, you know what, I'm not going to argue with these people. And what really gets me is they'll curse you out and call you out your name and argue with you and then say, oh, somebody's too old. Why are these old women on here arguing with these young girls? Well, don't it work both ways? Why are you young girls not respecting us older women? I mean, it works both ways. So if you decide you're going to cuss somebody out, don't you think they're going to return that favor back to you? Some people will. I'm not. I'm just not going to do it because you can argue by yourself. I ain't doing it. But I was on the panel because I said something in the comments about drop.
So much.
Yeah, that's true. I said something about, the fact that I like drop and the fact that, if Alexandra going to say something about her, she has every right to say something back at her. So, Trina goes, oh, did she call Alexandria? Did she say she would wish death on Alexandria or something she was saying or whatever? I said, well, no, I never heard Alexandria say that. Oh, well, Drop said that and that. Listen, arguing is arguing. What I know is sin. Ain't no big sin, ain't no little sin. Listen, if you dish it out, you should be able to take it. Because people, just like they say, they're going to go below the belt. So I'm not getting up here doing it with somebody, but guess what? You got some folks up here that's going to give you that business back. Yeah. So if you dish out that smoke, be able to take it.
When I went on, go ahead, I'm sorry, John.
Okay, I was going to say, we've been on Queen Jules' panel before. I don't think we ever had a bad interaction at all. I remember.
On who panel?
I was telling Doctor that we've been on Queen Jules' panel together before.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know. You know what? I think you have once.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't have a bad interaction. But I don't know that we had an interaction. We might have just been speaking on something. But unlike today where there's actually a conversation. Right. So.
I thought it was a conversation.
No, I mean, you've never done. I'm just saying that when I would come across you in that particular live, it was just you just always was like going off and going off on, and it was just like, it was heavy. But I went into Diamond's live, and Diamond was I came into the panel because I came to give her some advice. She was talking about expanding her business, and being a business, having an MBA, I figured I'd give the sister a tip. and she was very, she listened to what I had to say, but them comment cousins, oh man, they was like, who is she? What's she talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, she don't need to be up there. Listen to her trying to sound all intelligent, right? So I'm reading the comments, and I told Jules, I said, it's a good thing I ain't even know that nature, because I'm reading this shit. I'm like, well, boy, have I got. How have I caused the itch on these people? I mean, they was going in.
I think they just like to argue. I really think they just like to argue. They don't want to give anybody a chance to have an opinion or to say anything right before you could even do anything. They just go off on you. And it's so unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Especially when you somebody just come, you might say, I like the show and I want to interact, but a lot of people won't interact because of what people do, on the panel and what they be saying in the comments.
Yeah, they was going in, but I just ignored them and did what I had to do and said, thank you for having me. See ya.
You know what I find amusing? All those people who, no, I'm not going to say all of them, not Erica and Essence, but a lot of those people who are cheering, what's the young lady?
Alexander?
No, what's the young lady that helping?
Rena?
Who Essence is helping?
Kelsey.
Kelsey. They used to be very mean to her on Diamond's panel. I always loved her because I seemed like I understood. Well, Queen Jules sound crazy.
Right.
But they would always, not now, Kelsey, hush up, Kelsey, mute Kelsey, Diamond, and not now, Kelsey, you gotta go, Kelsey. They weren't as welcoming. I'm glad that changed, but that just goes to show you how phony these motherfuckers are.
They do it to a lot of people. I just sit and watch and I listen, but they do it to a lot of people.
That's when they want to bandwagon because they're followers.
Right. It's like, I'm gonna tell you something. It's certain things like people don't want to tell people when they are wrong. Even if you're a content creator and you're a big one or whatever whatever kind of creator you are, you should be able to take criticism as well. Everything that you're saying or everything that you're doing is not always correct or always right, or whatever. So, like that's like, same thing with Jules. And I think Queen Jules handled things a lot.
Yeah, I love Queen Jules.
We laugh about it because Queen Jules laugh about it. They get up there and they will call her all kind of bleach bottles and all of that stuff. Yeah. Queen Jules don't even argue with them. And that's what I like about Queen Jules. They'll always try to say she being messy, but a lot of them, some of them just don't get certain things. And she basically be laughing a lot of that stuff off.
Right.
I 100% agree. That's why
I have seen her.
I like her.
It's the same thing. Like I used to watch Miss Nitra all the time or whatever. But when I started seeing, like, I'm a enjoy everybody, and I like, being on different panels, going and watching the different stuff, whatever. But when I started seeing folks doing certain things or whatever, and not being held accountable for the nonsense that they be doing, you can't just get on the panel and just because this one don't like that one or that one, next thing you know, you on your panel talking about somebody and you dragging them through the mud every day. And then y'all start talking about God this out the same side of your mouth, speaking on God this and speaking on talking about using what do you call that? Calling out what I'm trying to think of the word, scriptures and all of that stuff like that. And you all doing all of this mess and cursing people out, and then in the same breath talking about something, spitting out all these different kind of scriptures. Where they do that at? Like, it is just crazy to me. I just heard you just cut somebody down, and then like you said, I have to agree with Drop. I'll tell Drop on the back end when I don't like whatever, and I want her to do better, and I'm not arguing and all that. I just speak the truth, and it is what it is, and it's not an attitude or a grudge about it or whatever. But a lot of them, although I like her, like I said, they get up there when Drop don't be saying nothing about anybody. You will hear her name mentioned, and that's when she goes off, and it's true.
And you know what? They have this lady. I'm gonna get her. What's her name? Aunt Kitty. Drop. I'm coming for you.
Stop it, Drop.
Aunt Kitty.
Stop it, Drop.
No, I'm coming.
Don't be saying stop it, Drop. True 66. You the one came up here with all the information.
I
No, no,
tell
no.
Drop will tell you. I tell her
Yeah,
all the time,
she
Drop,
told me.
I don't want you doing it. She
Yeah,
like,
she
oh
does.
no. But I laugh about it. I'll tell her, but we laugh about it or whatever. I'll tell her, Drop, don't do it,
You
please.
know who Miss Kitty is? Miss Kitty is that lady that's going around making them raps. Well, ma'am, you met somebody else who can rap too.
Boy,
think I'm a
yeah,
psalmist.
when she did
I'm
that
a
rap
Gibson.
on you, yes. But boy, oh boy, I laughed my butt off the other day when you taught Miss Activate. Lord Jesus, I said,
Oh, Lord.
I said, yeah, activate. Boy, I laughed so
She's coming
hard.
for me for
It was so
nothing.
funny. I mean, but the
Y'all trying to get somebody to come and push that damn guest button, y'all.
who
Yeah.
she don't like. She really set up
And that's what my black ass gonna drop.
I just don't like her. We not.
But no, me and Queen used to have the same back end conversations, and I'd be like,
my God.
Queen, I see you, and then she just start laughing, and she says, "So what you think, Doc?" And I'd be like, "You really want to know?"
right. Oh my God. And
I'm glad to see Kiana was up here today. I wish y'all could work it out because I like y'all together. You should be the villain. She said her thing need to be a villain. I don't
Me
want to
be the villain. She's already the villain. I can't out villain no damn Kiana. Please.
She say she need a villain.
Oh, let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody
She
say.
need a villain. Girl, you
love
about to
some
make me
Kiana.
choke.
Ooh, I like Kiana.
Yeah, I love
Boy, oh
Kiana
boy.
too. And
I
I
love
love
Tell you
Kiana.
something. She
I
need a
do.
villain.
want
Girl,
Kiana
I
and Queen
cannot.
Boy, that Kiana. Ooh, wee.
Doc, do you hear that? Who gonna out villain Kiana?
I know Kiana good. She good at what she do. I tell you.
Boy, and that Kiana don't care.
She gonna get you. She gonna get
God.
you. If you start with her, she ain't gonna stop. But I am. Don't start with me and we good.
Kiana's full effect, Lord. She don't care.
Don't
Now, I
care.
thought Drop was bad, but oh, we.
Hey, I ain't got that though, Kiana.
Nah, you
That's
got
what I'm
that
saying.
boy,
Who
Kiana.
she
I'm
wants to be
sorry.
a villain on her show?
Come on, be the villain. Come on,
Who gonna be
villain.
the villain?
You gonna be the villain. I hope
Oh, my
y'all make it
goodness.
because I like y'all together.
I like the fact that Kiana stand on what she say
Yeah.
and don't care who don't like it. Now, you can say what you want to say, and I still said it, and I'm saying it in your face, and I like that.
Yeah. Because you know what? I think Queen Jules asks what everybody is thinking and she asks it out loud. Other people just don't want to admit they don't have
Exactly.
the balls
I like
to say
Queen
they
Jules
thinking the
too,
same
because she
thing.
just and she listen, Queen Jules, the thing I like the way she does her stuff. It's funny to her. She said some Queen Jules just laugh at her. It'd be funny.
She could have
she'll
them pissed
go-
off. They be mad as hell.
She go in there and start stirring that damn beehive, and I'll be like, look at her, look at her, and then walk out laughing.
Exactly. That's exactly what she do.
I'm like, oh Lord.
Yes.
That's why I said they keep saying it's entertainment, but then y'all want to argue and fight.
Instead of being entertained. Yeah.
Right. Let it be entertainment. Y'all be contradicting yourself.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's what I said. I said if you block everybody that brings in the, you know what I'm saying, bring some fun to your live, then you're gonna have a boring live because
Oh yeah, I was gonna whoop your
some of
butt
the
for
people
that.
you like on there really is not they. First of all, they not adding really that they. You want somebody that can give a little more than just crap,
Cursing.
if you understand me, right? Cursing.
I was gonna get my belt for you, Queen Jules, when you did all that dropping and had them drop Queen.
I know, right? I catch enough hell.
Boy, they call Drop Queen every day. But
I know I had to clear it up. I felt so bad for Drop, but she held it on. She was like, "God damn it, that ain't me." But she didn't snitch. She didn't snitch, but I had to. I said, "Lord, let me not let Drop get all of that," because they thought it was all Drop.
Hey, Jules, when you came out there and said it was me, boy, it was so funny.
Good Morning America.
Boy, I laughed my butt off. You said
If it was anybody else getting the
Oh,
heat,
my God.
I might have let them go ahead and get the heat, but I said, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that to Drop because she already had so many people." She had way too many people on her, so I said, "Let me lift this up off of her ass."
When I say they be them names with them queens in it, I be catching.
Yeah.
Oh,
At
God. I'm gonna
first-
stay
at
right
first,
on.
you all
I'm gonna
know,
stay
at
in the
first, when I
comments and
first started-
tell my noise.
When I first started,
God.
I was more like, okay, I wanted to do the business thing. Then I started getting serious and mad because it was like everybody was just so crazy to me. Like, you know, I wanted to have like real serious conversations and just, you know, conversations that mattered. And then all of a
Thanks
sudden
for
it's
the
like, oh,
gifts.
fuck it. This is all a joke I see. And now that's all it is now to me. I'm like, girl, bye. Because, you know.
It was too funny though. Oh man, I thought I was crying when Queen Jules got up there and said that was me. Boy, I swear, you couldn't hear nothing, boy. But they was mad, and they went off. They thought it was Drop Queen the whole
Now
round.
I got everybody dropping people crazy and all
Oh
these
my
different
God.
lies. I said, Lord, now y'all done got down. Everybody like drop. Everybody. I said, Lord, they just dropping people left and right now. They're a mess.
That was funny.
They're a mess.
And like I said, I get what Drop Queen be saying when she say it's all in fun and stuff. But a lot of people just don't take stuff in fun. They you know, I don't know why they just want to. This app could be so much funner than what it is. But, you know, some people just go a little overboard.
Mm-hmm.
They let you know, they let stuff get the best of them. Drop Queen, what you cooking today? She busy. She must be doing something. Drop Queen. She doing something.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
No,
Okay. I don't know
I was
what
trying
happened.
to see what you was making today.
Oh, I'm making some. I'm
Besides rice.
making a couple of cakes. I'm trying to make some. Trying to figure. I gotta make a cake that look like some bowling pins. So I'm trying to roll these bowling pins up with this fondant. I'm having a hard time, but I'm gonna try. But I'm making.
You probably
some,
have to get off the phone to do it. You know what I'm saying? You might have to put
I
all
know how
your
to
mind.
multitask.
I know, but sometimes you just gotta shut it all out. You know what I'm saying? And just get with it.
I like
I
to.
wish I was good at making cakes.
Do you know what all I've
I
been
could
doing
cook,
since
but
we've been
cake
on the
ain't my
phone?
thing.
Yeah, it's